aircraft, but that's okay. This is just video. Huge tours out here. I don't know if Gabby, who's running this tour over here, knew exactly what they were going to get when they opened up the gates and they opened up the airplane doors to the public, the good folks of Princeton. And your family's been running this airport forever, Gabby. How'd that whole story start? How did you get your home the door open for a bunch of folks at the old airport?
So in 1985, my dad and my grandparents purchased the airport. Okay. And then from there, we've been a flight school, and we've just been the home for general aviation. Once I was old enough to fly, which was basically right when I was born, I started flying with my family. I ended up learning how to fly. I got my pilot's license back in 2021. And so now I have the opportunity to fly with my friends, with my family, and I'm working on getting all of my ratings. So I now have my instrument rating, so I can go through the clouds, and I'm working on my commercial rating right now.
There you go. And when she gets a commercial rating, guys, that will allow her to be an instructor. When she talks about her instrument ratings, that's what we're talking about. And that's probably a lot of the reason why they're having a tour out here right now. Because trust me, if you sit with pilots, and I have, they can start talking with their hands real fast and then start making numerical indications. And next thing you know, if you're not a pilot, you don't have any idea what they're talking about. What is an instrument rating?
So an instrument rating means that you can fly through the clouds, and you're going to rely on your instruments to navigate rather than looking outside.
That's nerdy stuff, right? The first couple of times you do that, it's probably a little bit of a gut check, right?
Definitely, definitely. And today would be a perfect instrument day. And today we're also having our tours, like you mentioned, to welcome the public to come see what's happening here at the Princeton Airport.
Talk a little bit more about that, because I feel like that is a very organic thing, probably organic to the Nierenberg family. You all are the only ones that I've seen doing this, and trust me, and I told you before, Gab, I'm a person that skulks around airports looking for that old dirt road down at the end of the runway so I can plane spot, look at cool planes coming and going. You guys are the same way, but you're having a tour on a Tuesday in the summertime. I've never seen any small airport do that outside of an air show, and that's not what this is. Apparently you all just want people to come and see and know what you're about.
Exactly. We want to have the public come and see. The kids and the adults, it's open to all ages, have the opportunity to be up close and personal with the aircrafts. We'll let them know some facts about the airplanes, like where the fuel tanks are and how the engine works, and then they get to also go over and see the big DC-3 that is living here at the moment, and we'll also walk through the maintenance shop. So it's an opportunity to let people, all ages, all backgrounds, get nice and close to general aviation.
Well, I've got questions on top of questions. I probably ought to be on my best journalistic behavior here. I gotta ask, what's the DC-3 doing here? How much trouble? Are they up underneath the hood on that thing? There's no such thing as a DC-3 that's not like 85 years old. So.
Exactly. This DC-3 is from the 1940s, and it's been here since the past 6 years, I believe.
It's been here for 6 years?
At least, yeah.
When's the last time it was off the runway and in the air?
I don't remember exactly the date, but I know that they recently flew to Bermuda. That was their longest flight, and that was in October. But they go for test flights, and it's a real passion project of the pilots. And it's an amazing thing for people to see around here, to see such history in the air.
Sure, and that blue hangar that you see right there, guys, you can't see inside there, but there's anywhere from 4 to 6 whirlybirds, and there are choppers that have the hoods up on them. They're doing work on those. Helicopters is a very specific piece of flying gear, and you all do work on it. You have everything from a Bell Ranger in there to high-level Sikorsky's in there.
That's right. These helicopters are responsible for different types of transportation. There's also a helicopter school here on the site. So in the back we have R-44s where students are learning how to fly the helicopters, and then the bigger helicopters are responsible for taking people from New York City to Nantucket to Martha's Vineyard. They can go all over the place.
Now you all are a non-commercial airport, and I suppose that's a rating thing, and maybe if you all wanted to, you could be a commercial airport, but I'm sure that would present a complete another bowl of challenges. Talk about how you all get by out here. Clearly you teach people how to fly. You're going to be an instructor yourself. Your brother is back in one of the maintenance sheds working on planes right now. And you got the people of Princeton here, which is a great town. There is money here, so folks do have the wherewithal, as opposed to have a plane. This would be the place to keep it. I'm sure it's a ton of different things.
That's right. So people come here, they can buy and sell planes. My dad and my brother work together with that. People can learn how to fly. So last year we had 4 pilots go on to purchase aircraft after getting their pilot's license. 4 people, yeah. We had over 38 students accomplish getting their private pilot's license, but 4 of them went on to buy planes. There's maintenance shops, so people from other airports will fly into our maintenance shop. There's avionics upgrades they get, so they can get, like, basically in simple terms, fancier GPS, fancier screens. So these airplanes, some of them are from the 1950s, 1960s, but with these upgrades, they look like they're from the 2000s.
That's funny. And Gab, that buddy I was telling you about, and I've told way too many people about my old friend James. He's a retired Air Force colonel, which is another like age check right now. I still feel like a teenager. My best friend from when I was a kid is now a retired Air Force.
All right, you guys all want to gather around. We're going to go ahead over to the
F-15 Strike Eagles. But what I see on his Instagram is he's got a Bonanza, but he was actually wiring. They were doing so. He's a Raleigh Durham. They were wiring, I think, an autopilot or something for a Bonanza or whatever. And he's absolutely the guy to be doing that. But this is one of those communities. This is one of those places where he'd be happy, where people with planes like that are actually going back. He's got little cameras on that thing too to make a hot Instagram feed. So it's a trip the way he's got his Bonanza rigged out. And I guess that's kind of my question. For him, it's easy. He's a 56-year-old guy, former fighter pilot. Those guys, anything out here at this airport is going to be 5 steps down. You know, they can fly it. But do you run into a lot of guys my age or James's age, 55, 56 years old, that worked the whole career, raised a family, turned around and realized, wow, most of my life's going by and I'd still really love to learn how to fly a plane?
We do. That's like the coolest part. Our students are all ages. We don't only get the teenagers in high school that want to learn to become professional pilots, but we have the people that are retired. And of those 4 people that I mentioned that purchased planes, 2 of them were over the age of 60.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
really?
one of them was 66, and he's already on his 2nd plane.
Oh, is he?
So
he's all jazzed up about it. He's completely both legs in. And
these people are great because they have money. They have the opportunity to now go on and purchase the aircraft. They have money and they also have time.
Right.
You're not working with your career.
Retired, sure.
You're retired. You have the opportunity to really dive into something new. And life is short. So if you want to do this, it's accessible. And I think that's our main thing. We want people to know that anyone can fly and it's never too late.
That's amazing. Show me some of this Cessna right here, if you would.
Yeah.
Is this one of your instructor planes? This is one of the planes that people would be learning on?
Yes.
And I will tell you too, Gab, that we had a technical difficulty off the bat. So what was a 3-beat show is now a 2-beat show with a commercial in the middle.
Okay,
so
great.
you and I can just go for a while.
Awesome.
Get used to the size though, guys. There's not a ton of room. And this Cessna, you can see a lot of the miles on it. This is not a new airplane. It's probably from the 70s. Look at Gab strapping right in. She's a qualified pilot. She knows exactly what to do. She is instrument rated after all, guys, as she told us.
That's right. So the aircraft, as you can see, has dual controls. So usually the pilot will sit in the left seat, the instructor will sit in the right seat.
All right, I want to climb up in here with her. I'm scared. Now we're talking. Look at that. There's a little skid down there for my foot. Again, it's small. This is not going to end well. I may wind up being in this plane for the rest of my TV career, guys.
Amazing.
But talk about it, guy. First of all, what got you to do it? You've got it in the family. I mean, were you always going to be flying, or maybe you were the one in the family that's like, you know what, you guys go fly, I'll be over here. But at a certain point, here you are, and you're this close to being an instructor.
That's right. So I'm a professional dancer, and I danced professionally up through the pandemic.
All right.
And then I've always wanted to get my pilot's license, but time is a serious thing, so you have to have that time. During the pandemic, I had the opportunity to just fly all the time because nobody's performing on a cruise ship.
Right. Well, fair enough.
So I jumped into aviation, and I have to say, the desire to learn has always been within me, and it's so exciting to think that I started my lessons and I was a little bit uncomfortable, but to the fact that now I can control the aircraft and I can even tell people about what is happening, and I've gotten these ratings. It really builds my confidence. It makes me feel just so amazing. Like learning to fly is the reminder that anything is possible.
All right, so I'm going to click back to an old Will Smith line from the original Men in Black. New hotness, old and busted. New hotness, old and busted. But I'm leading around to the question of, what does it take to actually go and learn? You're a little closer to college age than I am, so maybe your brain is more attuned to learning or whatever. If you really want to make that investment in time and in money, what's it going to take for whoever it is that wants to be a pilot to be a pilot? How many hours? How much book work is it going to take? How much of my wallet stuff is it going to take?
So you need to do a minimum of 40 hours to get your license. National average is closer to 65, 70. It depends how frequently you fly, how much you study, and how quickly you pick it up. So if you have the time to fly multiple times a week, like I did, you're going to pick it up faster because the more you do anything, the quicker it comes.
Sure.
Studying wise, It's the same material regardless of your age. So yeah, being younger, it definitely is a little bit easier. That being said though, we've had countless people that are over the age of 50 learn how to fly. If you want to do something and you're committed, you've got it.
Well, you said 40 hours, but I'm figuring if you solo after 60 or 70 hours, you'll just be that much more comfortable behind the wheel and probably that much more likely to be successful in your solo.
Exactly. There's no time limit. If you solo earlier, it doesn't mean you're a better pilot. It
Right.
just means it came faster. And there's other components of flying. There's radio communications. So you're going to learn how to talk on the radio. And all of this is learnable. That's the most amazing part. It's just all practice. So
Yeah.
anything is possible. As you can see here in the aircraft, there's dual control. So this is where the student will sit on the left side. This is the pilot side. And then this is where the instructor sits. But you can see they do the same thing. So from the very first lesson, it's a hands-on experience. You're literally looking at the cockpit alongside the instructor.
And they're